Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, you should totally think about hitting that subscribe button. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for watching. So today we're taking a look at a 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC300. Now I have quite a bit of experience with some cars in this class, me being the owner of an Audi Q5, but I've also driven a BMW X3 and an Alfa Romeo Stelvio. And I'm really excited to get my hands on this car because Mercedes have been long known for being the most luxurious of the group. You know, Audi and BMW can be sporty along with the luxury, but I really want to see how luxurious this car. Now, those cars that I've driven, those three that I mentioned, those were 2018 or below, and this is brand new. This is a 2021, so I think the technology of the cameras and the MBUX infotainment system are going to be pretty much next level. So I'm very excited to check this out. We're going to go through all the specs and everything, then we're going to get this thing on the road. So let's take a look at the GLC300. Now, under the hood of this, we have a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine. We've got about 255 horsepower, 273 foot-pounds of torque. Now, this car will go 0 to 60 in about 5.7 seconds, which is pretty fast for a 2-liter 4-cylinder. Now, we know that Mercedes dials it up like crazy too. There's also the GLC 43 and 63. Those cars have 385 and 550 horsepower. So this is a lot of performance out of this car, and mostly the cars in this class all have 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder options, so this is no stranger to that. Now, this car came out in 2015. It replaced the GLK Mercedes, and for 2020 this got a sort of mid-cycle refresh. That's when it started to come with the MBUX, which is Mercedes infotainment system, which probably might be the best on the market. I think Audi's virtual cockpit is just as good, but there's just so many levels of customization and personalization and information that you can get from this car right from the factory. So, all right, let's talk about the styling. All right, so we were looking at the styling of the GLC. Now, for 2020, like I said, there was a mid-cycle refresh, and now that has the different looking LEDs that now sort of have two elements. Before, they was just like an eyebrow that sort of came down right there. Now, this is the standard grille for the Mercedes. I think the GLC 63 has the Pan Americana grille, which is like, that's the whole thing for big AMG cars. But yeah, this navy blue is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I love a navy blue car. It looks good with the chrome accents. That Mercedes badge is pretty huge too. I mean, look at my hand. Nice and big. Now, Mercedes used to have the little pop-up star right here, but they've sort of gone away from that because everybody does, the big emblem in the grills there. But yeah, this it fits almost exactly spec size-wise compared to like an X3 and the Q5. I mean, my Audi looks almost identical size-wise to this car. Now, you've got 19-inch wheels here. They look good in the 5-spoke. Now, there is AMG sport appearance packages you can get, but that is when Mercedes sort of get a little bit expensive. I mean, just for an upgraded AMG appearance package, it's like another $1,500. Now, that's the other thing about Mercedes. Obviously, they're not cheap, and lots of their options are like a la carte. For example, this car is the 4MATIC, the all-wheel drive. That's like a $2,000 option. This car starts off as rear-wheel drive, but you can get 4-wheel drive, which this car has, the 4MATIC. But yeah, the proportions look good. It looks like a typical Mercedes. Now, this rides on the same C-Class chassis. Obviously, it's a GLC, which is pretty much the same size. GLE is on the E-Class, and so on and so forth. But yeah, this blue color looks really good. Now, the other thing that Mercedes did in the mid-cycle refresh is they really put the taillights in line with the other Mercedes that have been previously updated. Now, the other thing, Mercedes, their taillights used to be sort of boxy, but now the inside is sort of going up with the new S-Class. But when you have the lights on, there's like these little rectangles in there on both sides, which I think looks pretty good. There's your reverse light right there. Now, let's see if Mercedes does actual exhaust. Nope. Just as fake as my Audi. I need the stick of truth. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. Yeah, there it is right there. Oh, fake out. Anyway, that's something that German cars do all the time, and I don't agree with it. But yeah, as far as the styling goes, I think it's gorgeous. I think this is a good looking car. I think the Audi Q5 is a little bit better looking appearance wise, but that's subjective. I mean, all these cars are great in their own right. So as far as the styling goes, I think it looks pretty good. All right, let's check out the engine. All right, here's the engine of the GLC300. We got a 2-liter turbo, which is a pretty much industry standard in this class. 255 horsepower, 273 horsepower. Now, when this car was updated for 2020, before that, it was a completely different 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Now they just sort of went to a different engine, maybe just to keep in line with the C-Class, architecture. But yeah, just a little bit different. There's the car right there. Now, the owner of this car said he really, really enjoys the power of the turbo, and we're definitely going to test that out, put it in sport mode, sport plus, and really hammer it on it. So this car has a 9-speed transmission with the paddle shifters on the steering wheel. So we're definitely going to give those a try. So yeah, that is the engine right there. All right, let's check out the trunk. All right, so got the key right here. This is a typical looking Mercedes key. Now we're gonna touch that 2 times. Hold it in. Now the owner of this car came from a Ford Explorer, so something a little bit different and definitely bigger. That car had a 3rd row, and he just decided that a car in this segment would be big enough. Now here's the cargo area right here. Now this again fits in line with the class. I think my Audi Q5 has pretty much exact same space. Nice finish right here. By the way, this is so new. The car smells so good. I will never tire of a new car scent. But yeah, you've got room for a cargo net right here. Yeah, there's the button where you can put the seats down. We're not going to put those down, but that is nice to have access from the back seat there. You almost have like a 40-40-20 there. There's your ski bag pass through. But yeah, this is typical of the segment. I think if you're getting this car, you know how big it is, and I think this size-wise would be pretty adequate for you and your family. So we're gonna press the button. It's gonna go down right there. All right, let's take a look at the interior. Going to the inside of the GLC, where this car will definitely shine. For 2021, this car was updated a year ago, and it has the MBUX infotainment system, which we're going to try out in a little bit. But it now finally has all digital gauges. This is a 10.25-inch screen, and I think this is about the same. Used to have the analog gauges right there. Now they're all digital. They are so customizable, which we'll go through in a minute. But yeah, so talking about the luxury, I mean, this wood finish is absolutely beautiful. You've got the Burmeister audio. Yeah, it's typical Mercedes, which is super luxurious. Silver trim everywhere, nice sort of matte finish wood at the tan leather. One thing I was never used to be crazy about Mercedes steering wheels, before, but now this is updated for 2021, and I really like it. So going to the middle waterfall, that Mercedes has always had these classy circular vents, and they are such nice quality. You can turn them on and off. I like the look of that. They've had this look for a while. Now here in the middle, you've got the button for the menu. You can go through a bunch of different things. Also right here, there's your trackpad to control the screen. But yeah, this is very luxurious. I mean, this is brand new, and it definitely shows. You've got the 2 panoramic sunroofs above you. There's the back seat right there, which we will check out. So, all right, to dive into this MBUX. So we're gonna start the car up.
The professional who agrees with Drake.
Yeah, okay, so we need to turn the volume down. Okay, so really cool thing about the steering wheel and the gauges in front of you. Now, these little buttons right here, this square and this square, the left square will control this screen above you, but the right square here will control this screen right there. Also, okay, there's 3 different ways you can control the main screen. So we're gonna go to menu just to get to, or we'll hit the home button right here. You can use this as a touch screen, which it is super responsive. The pixels and the graphics are just beautiful, and they should be. All right, now one thing I'm not too crazy about, when you hit the menu, That'll take you to your HVAC controls. And it's sort of, I almost wish there was just one more little row here to control the HVAC controls, because going into the main screen here to control everything would be sort of annoying, or it might be take a little bit of time to get used to. Now, the owner said that there was quite a learning curve coming from a Ford Explorer into this car, but just having so much more technology, I can completely understand that. So the MBUX system is really good. There is the Sirius radio. So we're gonna go home. We're gonna try to go to phone, media, no voice connected, Mercedes, me, and apps. Yeah, smartphone, Mercedes, me, browser, lots of cool stuff. So now the other cool thing about this screen, you can control now the yellow button right there. That controls, you can go through a bunch of different things up and down. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. You can go up and down to do the range, your miles, your speed limit, your miles per hour, everything. Now, if you just swipe to the right, now you can control this screen right here, which I think this is the coolest part about it. There's your, your odometers, your trip range, eco display, and then there's your nav screen. You can have the nav screen right there on the right gauge, which is the one thing I like about Audi the most in my car is the virtual cockpit. You can make the whole screen the map. So in this car, you can just do the right screen. You can't really control anything on the left screen. That's always going to be your speedometer, but you can just swipe through to the right and control everything. And that is super, super control, customizable. Now, if you go into the sport modes right here, there's Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus, and I think Individual if you want to, really tweak with your suspension and your steering. But we're gonna go into Comfort mode. Now that sort of changes all the gauges. But yeah, this is just super, super customizable, which I think makes this one of the better infotainment systems in the game. Right there, that is the shot right there. So you can control a bunch of things, like I can swipe using this thing. I personally wouldn't touch the screen if it was me. I would either use the right part of the steering wheel or this trackpad right here. Now you can go through the cameras. Now that's the other thing about this car. That is, if we go into reverse, the camera technology is just amazing. There's your front surround. There's a little bit narrow. Now this right here, if you're going into a parking spot, that is where your tires will go when you go into a spot. Now there is your all-around camera. That's from each four corners of the car. That is the view from the back. There's if you're backing into a spot. I mean, that is one way you can show or tell that a car is significantly upgraded with the latest technology. I mean, this camera system is just as good as any Audi or BMW that I've driven in the past couple years. And I mean, this is a car that starts at about $42,000, and you would definitely get that technology. So one thing that's a little different too, Mercedes has the stalk up here. You push for park. Definitely don't have that down here, but this wood finish is just so nice. That's where your cup holders are. The quality of everything in here is very nice. Yeah, I don't have a bad thing to say about it. Yeah, that's it. This is the interior of the GLC. Very nice place to be. The quality is there. I mean, everything that you touch feels nice. I mean, I think there's even a package where you can get stitching up here, but it's like $1,000 or something ridiculous. So the prices of things can quickly add up if you're going to, spec this out with all the finest touches and everything. But this car still has the quality that you would expect from a Mercedes. So yeah, I really like it. Now, if you bump up one level, the GLE has...
How can I help?
Oh, hello. Take me to Starbucks.
Telephone unavailable. You can now connect your phone.
Okay. All right, be quiet. So the Mercedes GLE has two large screens. There's I think it's like two 12-inch screens that have you'd have 24 inches of display in front of you. And I think that is really just in the GLE and up. But that technology and the way that interior setup looks is absolutely amazing. Now, this car definitely got upgraded when I had the two screens now. These are all digital. But yeah, that screen in the GLE is just something that I think maybe might come in the next generation GLC. But yeah, this is nice either way. All right, let's check out the back seat. All right, going to the back seat of the GLC. Now, the owner of this car, just like me, they have one daughter, and I think that's going to be it. So this is definitely be more than enough space for your kid to be back here. Same quality materials and wood. I really like that sort of matte finish wood. It's really nice and sort of different. I'm not used to seeing, you know, the glossy wood in a car in this segment. But yeah, we don't have a HVAC system back here. I think you can get one if you pay extra, but it's definitely not a deal breaker. Still the nice circular gauges right there. Hi, it looks like a face kind of looking right at me. But yeah, this is you know what you're gonna get when you get the GLC. I think this is adequate space, you know, for a family the size of the owner has of this car. Still the same quality. So yeah, there's a nice shot of the interior and that upgraded steering wheel and the beautiful wood. So yeah, this is a really nice, luxurious place to be. All right, so this is gonna wrap up my quick little walk around of this. This is a 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC300. Now, this car has probably the best infotainment and the best camera system in the class. I think Mercedes and BMW or I think Audi and BMW are just as good. But this car's updated MBUX system is very impressive. So it really comes down to personal preference when you have cars in this segment. My wife always wanted an Audi, and we drove one, and it was great quality. The owner of this car always wanted a Mercedes-Benz. He drove it and he loved it. So there really isn't a bad option in this segment, you know, the luxury compact SUV segment. All the players in this segment are very good, and it is quite a competitive segment. I haven't really even mentioned the Acura RDX, which can definitely compete with these guys. So this car is very impressive on many levels, and I would not fault anybody for buying one of these. I don't really have anything bad to say. This might be one of the more expensive cars in the class, but it is a Mercedes-Benz. You know, the luxury always and reputation always precedes it. So I think you got a good one. Thanks to Brian for letting me drive this car. So now we're gonna get this thing on the road and see how it compares to the other cars in the class as far as a driving experience. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of the GLC. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at GemmyD on Cars. We got a lot of cool car content coming up. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.